Hi, I'm Lizzie,
And I'm Josh Sun.
and we're the hosts of the Conscious Love Revolution. And today we have the pleasure and delight of being with our friends and mentors, Molly Apple and Joe Dunn, authors of The Soulmate Experience. And I'm just so thrilled to be with you guys. I've learned so much from you, and I've felt so celebrated and supported in my life by you two. And just really appreciate you guys taking the time to sit with us today.
It's really wonderful to hang out with you again.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming up.
Reunion.
And your love.
Yes. It's a beautiful place. Yeah.
So, I love your book, and for me, it really hones in on some fundamental paradigm shifts on how we relate to ourselves, the world, and our relationships. And I really consider you guys sort of the gurus of jealousy.
I mean, because we have so much of it.
I just feel like you really you're like kind of own jealousy. Like you have jealousy working for you, you know? And so, yeah, I just would really love today to kind of download some of your wisdom and what you've learned about jealousy, how you have learned to relate to it, and any sort of wisdom that you have for us on how to shift our ideas around jealousy and manage it when it comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the first things is just where does it come from, right? Why do we have it? I mean, there's some evidence that historically, through our genes, genetically, it's our way maybe of trying to keep our man so that we can, have our babies and have somebody there to protect them and feed them, but we don't need that anymore. So even if there is an evolutionary component to it, a natural one, it's not really operating for us. It's not really working for us. So, when we started looking at jealousy, what came clear to me pretty quickly was it was the thoughts running through this little biocomputer that would produce that feeling. And that feeling's so intense that it comes so fast. You can have the smallest little thought, the little, gosh, she's pretty. Does he think so too?
And a reaction sometimes before we can even, get in between that thought and the reaction. Yeah.
So knowing that, it helps you look back when that feeling starts to come up. Immediately go to, okay, what was I just telling myself way back there, maybe? Sometimes it's really obvious. It's in the front, but sometimes it's in the back. It's a pattern, too, that we may have been running for a long, long time. I was really jealous when I was 15, 16, 17 years old. I was crazy jealous, so ran those tapes a lot.
So what is sort of like, for you, the belief or thought behind your experience of jealousy? Is it like kind of tends to be the same thing? The same
I think for
core?
me, it would be, I mean, coming from one of those core negative beliefs like I'm not enough, right? That it runs off that, feeds off that. So, so she's prettier, she's younger, she's more vibrant, she's more interesting, anything like that. And again, over the years, it's not a big thought. It's just a little one that can trigger that. Emotion, and we've talked to a lot of people, and it seems pretty similar experiences out there where that all comes from.
I believe that it shows up more for women than men, is my kind of perception, that I'm not enough, or the comparison dialogue. But what do you guys think? Has jealousy shown up for you guys?
Oh yeah, I've experienced jealousy. Yeah. I think it probably shows up more for men, but my guess would be that maybe women put more of a voice to it. So
That's an interesting perspective. Yeah, that's true. And I think it's come up for me some, but I think as my confidence has been gained, and as I've matured, there's less. I've become less jealous, and I actually am more confident in my own being. That it's not, the jealousy doesn't come up as often as it used to in the past.
The more present we are here, the less we're going out there.
Exactly.
It's the going out there mentally that causes that feeling of disconnection.
Yes.
Fear.
That's right. Fear of abandonment, fear of that's the piece that that you've mentioned before too, the fear of abandonment.
Yeah, that seems to be my core
Yeah.
wound from which the jealousy, is generated.
So then bringing a little bit of logic in it, like using the mind in a good way here. What is that doing for us? Is it helping us having a jealous reaction, and then all the stuff that we try to do to control the situation? Is that really getting us what we're looking for? Whether it's a feeling of connection. That's what it always is. We're looking for connection.
Ultimately.
We feel jealous, and then we do things like withdraw, don't say anything, pretend we're not feeling it.
Oh,
Work
yeah.
with somebody else,
Yeah.
right, to get even.
None of those reactions ever brings us the connection that we're looking for in the first place. So
So hopefully when you apply some logic to it, right, and realize that it doesn't help, maybe that's the first step towards breaking that pattern of jealous reactions.
So when you're with a partner that you can talk to, that you have a space that you've created where it's not only okay, but embraced, that you bring into the space what's happening for you. My gosh, you were talking, saw your video, and you did this. It was a beautiful example. You started talking to this woman, and I started having that feeling. And to be able to tell you my whole process, when I looked at it, this is what I saw. I was telling myself, this is what I'm afraid of. And to be able to bring that out into space, to be healed in the couple, is really precious. And brings amazing amount of connection.
Yeah.
And there's the space for it.
That's right, the vulnerability. And for me to receive it rather than react and then play the blame, shame, guilt game, that I've seen couples do. So it was like for me to be able to receive it and not react.
And I can do my best to speak responsibly, like share my experience rather than what you did, blaming my experience on you, really to own my feelings and my experience and my thoughts and my beliefs. I think that's really
Yes.
helps you be able to receive it.
It does, it's true. For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
So when we all know going in that my stuff is my stuff,
Yeah.
and yours is yours, and tell me if you see me trying to put something on you. If I'm not conscious enough to know I'm trying to, even underhanded way, trying to blame you for it or make you be different.
Right.
I want you to call me on it.
Yeah.
In a loving, gentle way, but I want to know I'm doing that because I know that leads to this.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Well said.
So Molly, I've heard you actually say that you look for experiences that bring up jealousy. Tell me about that, because that sounds kind of crazy to me.
So jealousy is an emotional, physical, emotional response, right? You get hormones going, you flood your bloodstream, your blood pressure, your heart racing. Well, so does the state of sexual arousal. Bring all of those same things to the body.
Yeah.
So to be able to feel that feeling and go, no, this is excitement. This reminds me how attractive this man is to me. How fabulous it is that I have this guy in my life. And when I associate it with that, then it's like, oh wow, okay, yeah, I can have that and enjoy it. And yeah, Joe, why don't you go talk to somebody?
Interesting, yeah.
So it's a shift in perspective.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
nothing's different that's happening, just how you're looking at it and viewing
Right.
it. So
using it like
brilliant.
everything. I believe everything can be used for the connection in the relationship when you have that safe, that you two, the safe space you two talk so much about. So eloquently about creating.
Yeah.
Within that, we can start experimenting with this stuff.